This is our current eCig setup that we recently tried that is probably one of the most durable, longest lasting systems there is. This tube here is your battery holder as opposed to, and that's the battery it uses. It's not like a AAA, it's the special battery. It's a lithium ion rechargeable battery.
I will Vanna and I will show you how to do it, but let me warn you that that's like a slingshot sometimes. I did this the other night and the battery slipped and flew across the room and I had to have Kenny dig it out from underneath the bed.
And it's also got this is the switch that you use to fire the thing up. As long as you're holding down on the switch, it makes vapor. And that goes, you want to show how that goes?
You take the battery and you put it nipple end up, and that just screws down on there. And as you see, when it makes contact, it lights up. And there's a little bit of a, you have to get it threaded right stage to it, but you do that, and then it lets you know.
This is an Ego battery. Stores about the same energy as this battery, so you can see there's one's bigger than the other because of the battery size. The main difference is this replaceable battery here. The battery itself inside this tube is like $8 online, and you can replace it. Whereas this is a sealed unit, all comes together, specially manufactured just for one type of eCig, and it's like $30. So whenever this wears out, you got to replace it, the whole thing. This over here, you buy an $8 battery and put back in the. This guy here has enough power to last you all day. You've never run one of these down, have you?
I can go right about 24 hours. Like the other day I slept and I got about 3 days use out of a battery because I was sick and I wasn't vaping as much. So it's just according to how much you vape with it too.
This is called a cartomizer. It contains your juice and an atomizer. They're considered disposable. They last about a week, but then there's reports you can get up to 2 weeks on them, Carrie says. There's reports that you can clean them. We haven't actually tried cleaning any of them yet. For $2.49, we just buy like 10 of them, and they're good. Then you're good to go for several months. But that is what stores the juice and makes the actual vapor. And you pull the little top off, creates this hole here that you drip liquid down the side, and there's like a cotton, it's not cotton, but it's wadding material down in there that does an excellent job of soaking up the juice, and it turns out, it starts out white. This one is a 2-week-old cart, and it's starting to get kind of dark, you can see. But you just drip down the side. You avoid getting the juice in that little center hole there. That's where the coils are that make the vapor. And the juice gets stored in this barrel, in the material around it. The problem with this one is its size. Where's your other one at?
I gotta put it there.
They're about the same length. She's been using the thinner one for years. This is what we've been using since we started. It's called an Ego, this one here.
With a whistle tip.
It's got a flat tip instead of a round tip. And it's smaller, it's lighter. You can see the difference in the size there. This one here reminds you of a good-sized cigar on its feel. It's obviously a little heavier than a cigar. There's some heft to this thing, but it's not working for Carrie because it's too big and bulky. It's an excellent workhorse. You can buy all these pieces independently. This is $2.49. I think this is like $11 or $12. Depends on where you find it. The little button in the middle. That way, if that button wears out on you and tears up, you spend $11 and you buy a new button. You don't spend $30 and buy a new battery. The battery craps out. You spend $8, you buy a new battery. This tube, I suppose the threads could wear out on it. It's made of aluminum. You could strip the threads and need to buy a new tube, but chances are your tube's good to go. If it does wear out on you, buy a new tube. I love the modular design of this. This cartomizer here is the largest, longest lasting cartomizer on the market. This holds more juice than any other cartomizer out there. So if you really fill this sucker up, it's going to last you a long time. And this thing is rock solid. You just press the button and vape.
It's a learning curve with the button, because it's not a hard push. It's a pretty soft.
Yeah, that's another thing Carrie likes is this button here is hard plastic. This is a soft rubber, kind of like more like a remote control button. This is a hard plastic jewel-like button on this one, and it has a click. You can hear it. It has a click, and this one's less tactile. So she likes this button a lot better, and than this one. And it's a lot of what you get used to, I think, more than anything else. This is what we started out on. This one is different. So I think somebody that started out on this one would probably feel that this one is small and light and cheap. Maybe not, but that's just my theory. If I was smoking today, I have quit all nicotine. But if I was smoking today, I would use this setup. It's big, it's long lasting. It's also a little higher voltage than this guy. This guy here is a few tenths of a volt less, and it also varies. The voltage varies as the battery discharges. There's a constant voltage circuit in this switch here, the center part that keeps your voltage at 3.7 volts, which gives you supposedly a little bit more consistent vape than these do.
And once you get it kind of started, you don't have to stoke it that much for your consecutive puffs on it. And as far as juice goes, let me talk about juice a second.
Put it up here.
Okay. That has been 2 weeks. That was 2 weeks worth of juice. Probably what, $2 worth of stuff?
It's hard telling. I make my own. This is my mixology Frankenstein stuff. This is we're getting close to the end. I've done all kinds of online research to find these are highly concentrated food industry flavorings that have been repurposed for the vaping world and sold by various vendors. Vegetable glycerin is what I use most. I try to use this as much as possible because I think it's better for you than some of the other things that you can put in it. You can get this at Walmart, at your pharmacy counter at Walmart for like this much here is what, like $4 or $5?
$1.99.
Oh, was it $1? Yeah, it's like it might as well be free considering the amount that you use, because this little teeny bottle here has been used a week, and there's still probably I bet we'll get another week out of that. This is at least 2 weeks worth of juice here. And the bulk of the mix is VG. Basically what you do is you take vegetable glycerin and you flavor it. So you take vegetable glycerin and nicotine and flavorings to make the juice. And we got hold of some nicotine juice. This is highly, highly concentrated nicotine juice here that we bought over in Indianapolis. This is enough nicotine for, what do we figure, it was like 70 or 80 cartons worth of cigarettes or something like that.
Yeah.
So, and we bought that last summer. It's over a year ago now, and we're halfway through the bottle.
It was our priciest.
Yeah, I think we spent like $50-$60 for that for a year's worth of nicotine. Sure beats Marlboros anyway. Smoke Tech is the company in China that makes them. The unit is called e-Power. This is called an e-Go. And then there's smaller ones that go down from there.
Well, 510s.
I don't think I have any of the old stuff left to even show. There's things that are. You definitely don't want something that looks like a cigarette or is even close to cigarette size, because they just don't. They don't have the battery power. They don't hold any juice. I mean, you're constantly going to be screwing with it. You're going to have to take like 10 of them with you if you go to work and rely on it. If you want to get off of cigarettes and you're addicted to nicotine, you got to have your nicotine supply reliable and handy at all times, because you don't want to get stuck somewhere without nicotine, and you don't want to have to go buy a pack of cigarettes if you're trying to quit smoking. So these are very, very important pieces of equipment. They got to be reliable and Johnny on the spot and long lasting, and that's what we found. But you got to go with these big guys in order to get that. So a year's worth of research and effort has come down to where this is mine if I was smoking, and this is Carrie's. These are more expensive.
Of course.
But
I'm worth it.
they don't hold quite as much juice. You'd have to fill this one a little bit more. You can see the reservoir capacity there is significantly different. So anyway, that's it.